Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show.
Brief technical difficulties there. We're live at the Milan Camden Center here for the Spring Card Show, sponsored by Atomic Sports Cards and Memorabilia.
Nick, I just want to say, as we come back, I have never had to fire my boss, but today might be the day.
Hey, technical problems do happen.
They do.
I know this.
And
we now join the following program, already in progress. There we are.
And
that should be the name of my new show. Program already in progress, because it is, you know.
No,
so here I am. I'm back.
You've been out on the floor. I want to tell me what all, you know, the difference, the spectrum, the scope of the cards, the memorabilia that's out there.
First of all, I would say this is a good show today. My friend Rob is here, and he's got a wide variety of new and vintage items. He's got a lot of autographs. I see the Pokemon folks are here. There are some people in costume, which, you know, adds to the spirit of the day. I kind of think that's cool. I would not do that myself, but that's just what other people do.
I want
they're
you
into the
in
TC.
Full throwback Giants uniform.
Well, that might be my goal for the next Atomic show. I got to say that, you know, the people that do the Magic cards and Pokemon are well represented. TCG cards are here. There's a lot of basketball, which I think is great.
Yep.
And I'm seeing some things that are holy grails here today, like early 50s Topps baseball. There's a Jordan rookie we were kidding around about, making an offer of $15 for the card, but that is the holy grail.
It is.
An 86-87 Fleer basketball. Charles Barkley's rookie card is for sale. Rob's got one for sale over there. So if you were influenced by the NCAA tournament, you really got into Barkley with his ice cream and all that. You know. Hey, by the way, I wish that really existed. I want one of those ice cream. I want to eat that stuff.
Me too.
It's just a fictitious made up ice cream.
Somebody's gonna make it.
But I want one anyway.
To kind of steer things back towards wrestling,
Yes, sir.
which our podcast is about. Do you remember when CM Punk insisted on being on the ice cream bars?
I had a CM Punk ice cream bar at the first and I still have the wrapper. So I know what that means. Yeah, I've had a CM Punk ice cream bar.
I love it.
That triggered that memory when you said that. So
have you seen?
Did you save it? Did you save the wrapper?
Absolutely. It's in a book. It's in a book flattened to keep it safe for sure.
Yeah.
Did you see any wrestling stuff out there today?
Absolutely. There's wrestling things.
Good.
Football, basketball,
and you look
all
around.
this hockey. I'm seeing. So there's something for everybody. The folks at Atomic, located in Milan, Illinois, have opened this up to a different set of dealers that you don't normally see at some of the other shows. So that's what's kind of neat about this.
Absolutely.
It's a different kind of show. In Milan.
And of course, we have to again thank Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles for hosting this event and having us here at this event. I am particularly honored that they asked us specifically to come out here and do the live broadcast for them.
This is kind of surreal for me. This kind of reminds me of going to a wrestling show, because look around. You've got all ages, all kinds, all walks, and you know, something like card collecting, whether it's you collect baseball or Pokemon or basketball or Magic, it unites people just like wrestling does. So a lot of this place is packed.
So is there a world of vintage wrestling collectibles? We're talking, I mentioned before the podcast, Bobby the Brain Heenan, for example. Are there things that were with his image on there that go for, they've got to be autograph items that got to be quite rare.
One of the big collectibles in wrestling is figures. So like action figures.
Action figures, okay.
Yes. Yep. The card side of wrestling is really cool. It's just the same as what's going on the baseball side, the football side, the basketball side. It's just with wrestling. You've got your chases, you got your numbered stuff, you got your memorabilia cards. But like it seems the vintage, like if you're a card collector in wrestling, it started in like the early 80s, but like vintage stuff. People are really, you know, you go online, you can go down rabbit
WWF
holes.
Stuff, that era.
That stuff. And stuff preceding it that, you know, as part of the National Wrestling Alliance, stuff like that. There's a market, there's a collection for anything.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about hobbies, and that's showcased here today here at the Camden Center.
And people are buying things today. By the way, I see a dealer over here looking at, I think, some non-sport at this point.
Yeah,
But
someone
people
brought their
are-
book in.
They
right?
brought a book in for a dealer to look at, and people are buying. I'm not saying every dealer here is buying, but some dealers are going to pay cash, I'm sure, for things that they want for their collection or to resell to their customers. So, yeah, exciting.
It
For
is
sure.
exciting.
And I know, like, talking about old school wrestling cards, Atomic has had some old 1994 WCW cards. I think it was 94.
94.
And that they may not be the highest value cards, but there's some good cards.
Oh, they're still fun to rip.
They are.
They're
100%.
still fun to rip. There's nothing beats that feeling of ripping open a pack.
Yeah.
Which
What,
we're
no
gonna do
matter
in a
what it
little
is,
bit.
like
Yes.
we're joined here by David Baker on the Card Subject to Change podcast. Dave and I, we have a tradition. It's coming up.
We have our Good Friday tradition. We go out to card shops and we pick up just interesting cards and have fun. And we visit a few card shops in the Quad
It's
Cities.
almost like a scavenger hunt. We kind of come up with things we're looking for, and
Yeah.
that's coming up. That's
That's
right
Good
around-
Friday. That'll be the 18th?
Yes.
Because Easter's 20th. Yep.
yeah,
yep.
April 18th.
Yep.
By the way, one of my favorite, this is non-wrestling, one of my favorite card searching stories was the day golfer Payne Stewart died.
This was in late 90s, early
Late-
2000s.
Late 90s. So he was in a plane, and it's a really tragic story. Not that we were celebrating his death, but we thought, hey, is there a place that's got golf cards in the Quad Cities? There used to be, and it's now closed, sadly. It was a penny candy store on 16th Street, not far from the WQAD
Yep.
Channel 8 studios. And it was there. They had boxes of these golf cards. And so I went in and bought, I think, a box of these golf cards, and we ripped them feverishly in the car in search of, because Payne Stewart, it was announced he had
He
died.
just passed away. This is the first time I had ever opened a pack of golf cards, by the way.
Well, it's my only time of ever opening golf
You go to
cards, and
college to
I-
experience new things, and
And there
That's-
I
that's
am.
one of the
I'm
new
in
things.
Moline ripping golf carts, and we got it. I don't know who got the other Payne Stewarts. There was like 2 or 3 in
I've
the.
got one somewhere.
I've got one.
I do
I've got
too.
one from that day. So there you go. But we have these rituals where we go and find things. Nick, by the way, used to compete in food eating competitions, and the prize was a wrestling belt.
That's right.
Oh.
And some of these I do not recommend any of this for the viewers
Jesus.
at home. One of them was you had to consume an entire bottle of what was the top, the ice cream topping. It was the strawberry ice cream topping for you would put on vanilla ice cream.
Nah,
or-
not the chocolate, but the
he had the
strawberry.
whole. He
I had to eat the
consumed
whole
the entire
bottle.
thing,
Oh my.
and then as he, his victory prize was the wrestling belt,
That's right.
and we bought the belt at Target, I
We
believe,
did.
and it was on
It
sale.
was a
and there-
foam replica
Okay.
back when they still put those.
you
out.
still have the belt?
I do still have the
Which
belt.
Oh,
which belt
man.
is it?
It's the Big Eagle foam replica.
The Big Eagle. Okay.
The Big
okay.
Eagle foam replica. Yep.
So
yep.
Nick's the belt winner for that. We also went to one of the fast food restaurants and had to consume, I believe, two burger baskets.
Butterburger baskets.
Butterburger
and then a large,
baskets.
cement mixer.
Oh Lord!
Ooh.
And you did the whole thing,
Yeah.
and that was so. Those were examples, but one of the most, Chris, we didn't do this. I don't know if we were doing this when you were a student, but we did a donut. Speaking of Easter, the day before Good Friday, so Thursday one year we did a donut eating event, and we raised money for charity.
We did. We did.
And I can't remember what the charity was, but we went and got Krispy Kreme donuts, and you participated with Ryan Wild, who was one of our
Yep.
students. He was
Yep.
doing his radio show live on the air, and you stood outside. I don't know why you stood outside, but you were live on the air out in front of Galvin Fine Arts Center at St. Ambrose, and you ate nearly a whole box of Krispy Kreme donuts.
I did.
Now the first 5 or 6 probably went down pretty good,
Yeah. Those last
but
ones.
those last ones, and then you left. You walked away when it was over. You didn't even say goodbye. You just walked away. It was
Hey,
over.
Hey.
You just,
I was probably seeking a restroom at that point.
I don't know if you hit. I thought it was 19.
Might have been.
I thought it was a number like 19.
Oh my goodness!
It was ridiculous. And there was a couple left over because I remember I had one
I want you
out
to
of 24.
I want you to pull out what you picked up at the show earlier here today.
What did I? Oh, well, I picked
Because
out something earlier and I put it in the car because it was raining.
No, I got you, man.
But I got a bobblehead, early 60s Giants bobblehead. I got my Giants hat on.
You.
So in honor of Willie
Giants fan.
McCovey, Willie
Yep.
Mays.
Yep.
Here we go. This was
Camera's right there. Yep.
Oh,
Oh
look
yeah,
at
we
that.
can tell who that is.
it's Charlie Hustle from
The Cincinnati
they,
Reds.
they were he was the Red, and they airbrushed the team logos out back then because they couldn't pay the rights fees to the teams. They didn't.
So this would be like having a modern day baseball card where they didn't have
Yeah.
the names on the uniforms.
Right.
Like they're
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I
then
see what you mean
and it was
now.
in Crane potato chips, which go get Crane today. Is there? I don't even
When
know
was
if
the last time?
company-
Okay, I
I never
had
saw
never heard
Crane.
of Crane potato
I
chips.
never saw it.
I'm looking over here to see.
No.
He hadn't either until today. So
They sound good right now. I wouldn't mind a bag of
Oh,
Crane
bag-
potato
bag
chips.
of
You're
Crane.
looking at the guy who looks like he ate about 20 bags.
yeah,
of
have you
potato chips.
have you ever came across one of those?
So
That's cool.
But the relevance of this is Pete is going to be, although sadly so, inducted into the Hall of Fame posthumously because he bet on baseball. And my question, if I would have ever gotten to interview Pete Rose, is, Pete, I understand you bet on baseball, but did you ever bet against yourself? I want you to tell me that part, because I don't think anybody ever asked him that question. I asked those kinds of questions. Did you ever bet against yourself, though? And I don't think he would have. He's Charlie Hustle. I mean, you ever see that guy? You ever see films of when he was sliding into second base, stealing a base? Come on. I mean, he picked up more dirt than
Yeah, I can't.
the groundskeeper
He
out
bet
there.
on baseball, yes, but I can't see that guy ever being part of a point shaving scandal. That guy
Not for
wanted
himself.
he wanted to win.
Yeah.
Right.
I
right.
would bet on anything Pete Rose went with. Not to say I'm going to bet on
because you knew he was going to try to win.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't bet on sports. I mean, yeah, we've all done our friendly little bets, but I'm not into that. That's not my thing.
Sure.
So,
I'll make a quick reference. You said you don't think he bet against himself.
Yeah.
I'm doing the fitness podcast with our good friend Zach Takis, and I just want to say, bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself.
bet on yourself. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
And keep doing the fitness. That's great too. A couple of wrestling ties to myself.
Yeah.
So I was friends, and one of my mentors was Lloyd Bolcom. And Lloyd used to be the public affairs director, and he had other titles at Channel 8. But in Lloyd's retirement years, he worked with us at St. Ambrose and would promote wrestling. And anytime he had a match at Wharton Fieldhouse, he would run the spots on our TV channel.
Okay.
So we used to run wrestling spots on TV 11 back in the day.
That's pretty cool.
That was
Yes.
pretty cool. And Lloyd was right on the inside. And those were paid spots. We got paid.
How
So-
did he come into that?
Lloyd was over at Channel 8 back in the days of All-Star Wrestling
Oh,
when Jim King used to host that on Saturday nights. And then, they would have those different matches. And I'm not sure where those came in from. Those weren't from Wharton. Those were filmed somewhere up by Chicago.
mhm.
And then they would get the videotape down here. But that was called All-Star Wrestling. It was aired every Saturday night and Sunday morning on Channel 8.
On Channel 8.
Yeah.
And I just want to stop our roving reporter, the man who killed the territory, is back with us.
The man who killed the show.
So I had a lot of trouble finding Allen and Ginter. So, but I did find.
I'm
No,
gonna
you're
pass the
okay.
headphones.
You're okay.
He's had trouble finding Allen and Ginter,
Okay.
but he did find is that Brett?
That's Brett.
It was Brett the Hitman Howard, Allen and Ginter card.
This is Brett what?
It's an Allen and Ginter.
I don't have one of those.
Oh, and he found a beautiful Imperium card.
Is Gunther on it?
Yes, he is.
I don't have that
Gunther
one.
and,
Wow.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Look at me! It didn't even have to double
He's
check.
good. He's good.
He's still in
good.
budget, right?
I believe he's
Under
still
the
in
20s?
budget. I believe he's
Still
still
in
in
budget.
He's way over. I see him back. He's at the front of the building. We're at the back of the. I mean, I guess he'd be at the back. What is this? Are we in the front or the back?
We're in the back, I would say. That's the front, I would say.
I'm trying to figure out a way to turn my camera around, but I don't know how to do that.
I collect cards and was really into it when my oldest son, was a little bit younger, and we did it. And he's got loads and loads of cards. But I just love buying an occasional pack here and there. I don't care what it is. Getting what's in it. I like seeing what I'm in groups on Facebook, as I'm sure you are too. You are.
Yep.
I love seeing what people get out of packs and stuff. It's just so cool.
Back to Lloyd Bolcom, if I got a second.
Absolutely.
Lloyd is famous for something that the Quad City should know. He was a real treasure, and he was a pretty humble guy. He was a director in Minneapolis before he came to the Quad Cities. And he was a TV director, so meaning he called the shots, like ready camera 1, ready camera 2.
And how long was he in Minneapolis?
He was there in the 60s.
That's
into the early 70s.
That's where AWA, American Wrestling Association, the All-Star Race and wrestling that was on Channel 8. That's where Vern Gagne was Minneapolis.
Oh, and maybe those were all done out of Minneapolis.
And maybe he made ties with those guys back then.
Yeah. So
when you said Minneapolis, that's what it made me think of, because that's where AWA's out of.
So Lloyd was personal friends with Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew, all these people. Kathy Bolcom, his daughter, said those guys would come over to dinner all the time. Can you imagine who's over for dinner tonight? Oh, Rod Carew, Harmon Killebrew, they're just hanging out. So, but he was friends with the Twins because he used to direct Twins games.
Sure.
And newscasts at a station up in Minneapolis. Lloyd invented, and he's in the Minnesota Broadcast Hall of Fame, the very first, and this is in the world, not just in Minneapolis, the very first electronic character generator. Somehow he inserted on the air with the score.
Ooh. Oh, so he was
before that,
the
score bug. Before that, the score used to be a shot. They used to get a shot. It was football, baseball, anything like that. Lloyd Bolcom invented that technology.
Invented the score
with
bug.
an engineer's help. And Lloyd had the idea. So and he would hang around Ambrose because he was friends with Father Shepler and all of us, Duke Schneider and all of us over at Ambrose. And so he was one of my mentors. And so there's a big mention there about Lloyd. In the Baker house, my dad was an avid All-Star Wrestling viewer. We used to watch that Saturday, and the Sunday was a rebroadcast of the Saturday All-Star Wrestling that was on Channel 8.
Who was your dad's favorite?
I don't know.
Who was your favorite?
I remember a lot of blood in that show. There was a lot of people getting hurt pretty bad. I don't know. I don't know how you fake blood. It was real.
Well,
it was.
You don't necessarily fake blood, but you may fake doing the.
You may fake how you got the blood.
Right.
There
was a lot of. I loved it all though. It was fun, and there was a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff going on.
Yep.
At one point, Jim King, who was a legendary broadcaster I worked with over at Channel 8, he was a host of some of those things.
Oh.
And he would come in there, and he enjoyed doing that. You could just tell he had a lot of fun. But
my saying is everybody's a pro wrestling fan. They just don't want to admit it.
Right.
It's got something for everybody.
And before I got to run because I have a gig to go to.
We have kept you.
I want to do a shout out to this guy's grandfather.
Yes.
So I wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for Ed Zach. So your grandpa gave me a break, and he used to air check my show, my radio show. So what air checking is he would record it, pause when the music came on, unpause. That took a lot of time for him to sit at home on a Thursday night after 10 o'clock at night. Most people would be asleep. Ed Zach was up. This is your grandpa. You had a really good show last night. I'm not sure why you played Foreigner at 11:20 and a jazz show. Yeah. I want to know what love is. But he goes like this. Excellent track. David, good choice. Good track. It's like, so cool grandpa. And he gave me a break on the air, and it was so much fun. Learned a lot about radio. One thing, had a great time with him one time. Well, I had a lot of great times with him, but I never will. A couple of things. One thing is, I was joking around about a tornado one day. I said, we might have a tornado warning later. I said, he comes in and yells at me, Baker, don't you ever say tornado warning around a microphone unless you really mean it. I said, okay, I got it, Ed. And I just did it again, Ed, and I don't mean it. There's no tornado warning. So
he's looking down and he's
looking
cursing
down
at you right now.
And on his retirement from St. Ambrose, And when he went over to alumni relations, he left his position. He went from radio down to TV for a while.
Yep.
Worked in TV as associate director. When he left, my mom and dad went and got a cake because I said, I think we should get a cake, and I'll pay for the cake. My mom and dad picked it up. Well, they had our Boston Terrier with them, and I think the dog thought that cake was for her because she was very smart. She knew when birthdays were coming, and
Sure.
she was going antsy and going crazy when
Sure.
that cake was in the car. It was like, nope, that's for Ed. And my mom used to always talk about that, yeah, Ed's cake. But a lot of great memories at the QC on air site. And in fact, you might even be able to see that video or the picture, one of the pictures of Jim King hosting the wrestling at Wharton Fieldhouse.
Yeah, I think it's been on there. I have seen it, but yeah, Quad Cities on Air is a really good site for that. And and I think, I love hearing old stories about that. I never knew the guy who invented the score bug.
Yes, that's about Lloyd Bolcom. So, and that
Quad Cities
right here, and he's lived here and he's since passed away, but a great guy. I can't wait to find out I'm going to have to check the podcast out to find out what you pull in your panini. Yeah. I'm not going to give it away, but we'll see if you get one of the hits.
I hope so.
I hope so.
And remember, thank you, Atomic. Thank you to all the dealers for being here.
Yep.
And to you, the fans, for coming, and fans of all ages. And just whatever's going on podcast-wise, local in the Quad Cities, putting us on the map, because there are thousands of people checking out podcasts.
Absolutely.
They're out there.
Yeah, I know it's a very saturated market, but that's what's great about it. There's a podcast out there for everything. And you guys are doing a lot of podcasting over at KALA, which I'm jealous of. I wish there was a podcasting class when I was there. But
right?
Gosh, but we found out the hard way.
Yeah.
We want to thank David Baker.
Thank you.
Host of The Rewind on KALA. That can be heard on Friday nights at 6.
6 o'clock live.
On
rebroadcast every Saturday night at 10 p.m.
At 10 p.m.
on 88.5. And you can hear hour number 1 of The Rewind today, Sunday, the 30th, at 4 p.m. on KALA HD2 or 106.1.
And he gets it all. He's a natural. Dave, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your stories.
Hey, my hat, I don't have mine airbrushed out. We were talking about that. But Pete did.
I want you on a Crane potato chip card.
Oh.
There's your idea.
Anybody out there has got some Photoshop skills, let's get you going. Okay. All right. Have a good day.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate having you. That is Dave Baker, friend of ours, St. Ambrose, of course, radio. He can be heard Friday nights on The Rewind on KALA. He is a card collector. Dave and I will be hitting the shops here on Good Friday. Looking forward to that. We are joined once again by the show killer.
Yeah.
There's the legend killer.
I wish I could say.
I'll tell you what.
I wish I could say it's the first time I've done that.
I'll tell you what. There was a moment of panic on this guy's eyes right here. But then he got back on the horse and got it steered in the right direction.
So I was standing over there back in the corner, with the cards that I.
Oh my goodness!
That I got. Pretty sweet card. I like both of those.
Are you kidding me? That's a beautiful card.
But when I shut you guys down, I knew what I'd done, and I'm like, oh my Lord. I like both of those cards. Both of those cards are really sweet.
I do too.
When I first saw the Topps Chrome, we're on one camera here, so when I first saw the Topps Chrome somehow, the license plate cards are really sweet. I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I thumbed through a lot of wrestling cards to try to find that Alan Ginter, and then I asked. I'm like, hey, I did not see any. Do you have any? And he's like, yep, I've got a Bret Hart card in here, and I knew Nick Bull, Bret Hart.
Yes.
This guy, he's doing.
Other than
he gets an A for the day.
I want one more mission. I got a little bit more of your guys' money to go spend. So from each of you.
Okay.
I know where I'm gonna go.
Let me ask: Did you see any wrestling autos?
There's actually some wrestling autos right at this table in front of us.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what they have?
I only remember one card. But let me go down there.
Find me a cheap wrestling auto.
How cheap is cheap?
How much money do I have left?
So I spent $15.
Okay. That's what that fit was one day. It was 15. You think of something and I'll.
Okay.
What do you want?
I want a good tag team card.
Both tag team on the card or 2 cards of 2 tag team wrestlers.
Ooh.
Whichever
the
is
same
easier.
team, like-
I'd prefer,
Like, could I do
Both
like a
of them on the
Kofi and a
card.
Big E,
but if you find a Kofi and a Big E separately, I'll take
or
that.
an IRS and a Ted DiBiase?
Yes, I will take that
Oh.
separately.
I did while I was looking for
Oh.
cards on belt. There was a IRS card with the title belt.
Okay.
I just hadn't seen a Ted DiBiase, so maybe he's somewhere with Brett Favre scamming some people out of Medicaid in Mississippi. I don't know. Don't cancel me or sue me, Brett Favre.
I want a cool legend. A cool legend card.
Okay, so this is my mission. I'm gonna go see if I can find a tag team card. I am going to find a cool legend, and I'm gonna get Nick an auto card with whatever he's got left over.
Or find an auto card.
No, I'm gonna do both. I got you both.
Really?
We'll see what we can do.
All right.
If you find the auto, just disregard the other mission. I was just kind of giving you two in case one failed.
Well, I know Damon Kemp is one of his autos. I figured you didn't want Gable Stevenson's brother.
I'll tell you what. Charlie Dempsey. Find me some Charlie Dempsey.
I'll do my best.
There you go.
All right.
I found like this really cool. I can't remember who was on it. I know it wasn't Dempsey and Regal. There was a cool family tree card that I digged quite a bit. So we'll go see what I can find.
Okay. I'm looking forward
All
to
right.
it.
Is IRS a cool legend? Because I feel like him standalone not that cool, but since he is Bray Wyatt's dad, that was pretty
mean,
neat.
He was on WrestleMania 1.
Yes.
All right, we'll see what we can find.
Looking forward
All
to
right.
it.
All right,
Sounds great.
Thank you,
I'm gonna-
Dude, these cards are cool.
I'm
dude.
gonna go out and get them, and then I'll be back up on stage. I'm not gonna drop in again.
Okay,
so-
that makes sense.
all right, I'll be back.
Thank you so much. That is
Awesome.
DJ Jarvis. I can turn this computer here if you
Yeah,
want
I
me
was
to.
just gonna say let's
so
go
you
ahead
can get
and
on.
let's go ahead and turn that because I think
There you go.
I
See, he is here. Well, welcome back to the show.
we're just gonna switch the camera around here. Hello, everybody. I am live and in living color. Nick, I'm gonna set the mic down for a minute. I'm gonna let you tap dance for a moment because I know you're good at it. While I take the cellophane off of this beauty.
I got to get it because the table isn't level. Yes, we are going to rip some cards here
So
live.
you go ahead and
on
talk
the
us
air,
through
for
while
sure,
I open.
for sure.
this.
You are on camera, so thank you for joining us. This is episode 181. We had 180 last night up in Waterloo. We want to thank our friends up at Absolute Pro Wrestling once again. We also want to thank our sponsors. We are powered by Low Pies Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo, and protected by Jared Zook of Country Financial. We are card subject to change. The podcast by the fan for the fan. I am your host, never wrong, Nick Bull. Off to my left is my tag team partner, the Wizard CZ. We are card subject to change, and we are live here. We're kind of doing something new. We're branching out. We're doing live hits. We were asked to be here, and we are live and in living color at the Camden Center in Milan, Illinois,
We are.
for the Spring Card Show, sponsored by Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. And when I told people, hey, we are going to be live at a card show, like, oh, what, baseball cards? I'm like, baseball cards just tip the iceberg. There's cards for everything, and there's collectors over here. They do have it divided up very well this year. We'll go back on our wide camera later, but we sit up on the stage. Off to our left is the Pokemon Magic the Gathering community, and it's pretty packed over there. In our middle over to the right is all sports cards of all kinds. We're here for the wrestling cards.
brother.
Brother. But are you all right over there? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
You're itching. You're itching to open some packs.
Do you want to open the first pack or do you want me to?
That's up to you.
I'll let you open first. I'll let you pick. We got 6 packs. Pick your poison. And I'll pick mine so it's on the ready.
So are you going to tap dance while I talk? How do you want to do this?
You go ahead and start ripping. I'll
Okay.
see if I can tap dance a little bit. I'll give you some previews of what's coming up. Show 'em. You'll reveal them on the air. So I'll give you a little preview of some of the things we have coming up tonight. We have our regular show at 6:30. We are interviewing Nasty Nick Nolan. That I'm super excited for. And this Wednesday we are not doing the kick out. So those of you who follow the kick out, I apologize. We are not going to have that. But we've got something even better for you. We have the original Glow Girl, the gorgeous lady of wrestling herself, Hollywood, coming on to talk about her book, her soap making adventures, everything she we'll talk about anything she wants
Yeah,
to.
if you follow her on social media, she's at a show nearly every weekend, so she's got plenty of stories. I can't wait to ask her about the book and the book writing process. I'm really interested to see how like you decide, if Never Wrong Nick Bull or the Wizard CZ ever decided to write a book, what goes in, what goes out.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm really interested in getting to the bottom of, but looking forward to that interview for sure.
So Nick's opened his pack. I'm gonna let him take a sip. I'm gonna let him reveal his cards. I'm gonna open my pack.
We
while he
are
starts.
breaking a
2023
Select Prism or Select Panini WWE Blaster Box. I've opened my first pack. Somebody on this screen is going to be very happy with one of these cards. Here we go. My first card, if you can see, I don't know with the lights and stuff.
That looks like a Brock Lesnar to me.
That's the best way to see it right there.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar, my first card. Cowboy Brock. What rhymes with Cowboy Brock?
X-Pac.
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 X-Pac. Pretty cool legend card here.
Oh, Bam Bam.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Very cool.
And I'm going to go ahead and just give you this card.
Okay.
This is CZ's boy right here.
Oh yes, Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano. And
Love
and there you go. That's yours, buddy.
Thank you so much.
That is yours.
I'm gonna hand the microphone work over to you.
That's fine.
While I rip my first
CZ's
pack.
going to rip a pack here. No, we won't look yet. We're going to rip. We'll each rip 2 packs or 3 packs, and then we'll bring you in. Then we'll finish ripping. CZ going to look through his cards real quick. And where are you gonna show them right here?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll show them.
I can't wait to see. I'm finding out when the rest of the crowd does here.
I am definitely hearing voices right now. We have a Randy Orton.
That is Randy. That is Randy Orton.
Next on the list, the man formerly known as the Gold Standard, Shelton Benjamin.
Current tag team champion.
Also no showed the Quad City Storm.
He did.
He didn't no show. No.
I'll tell you what.
He didn't no show.
I
He
want a deal.
rescheduled.
Make me a deal. Make me a deal.
Make me a deal.
Make me a deal.
We're rejoined here by DJ Jarvis. He's over
When
on
he
this.
doesn't show up before the season's over, you acknowledge me on the show that he no showed.
I can't do that because here's why. As soon as he got that championship belt,
Well, yeah, you knew he was.
you knew. Hey, he was scheduled to be elsewhere that night.
Well, he should have.
He didn't no
He
show.
should have. He should have known.
They
he
should have
known
sent
that they were gonna
somebody
push.
else.
Yeah,
AEW should have sent somebody else.
yeah, we would have gotten some curtain tugger.
You would have got Aaron Solo.
Oh,
Watch Collision. He's like
Exactly. We would have.
Exactly.
He would have flown through there like a 727.
Okay, we got it. We got. I'm not talking about flying 727s today. That's another that's another conversation in and of itself. But I get what you mean. Go ahead, CZ.
so one of my favorite current commentators, but this is when he was. This is he's in a match against Baron Corbin. We have a Pat McAfee.
Oh,
Very cool Pat McAfee card.
very cool Pat McAfee card.
And then I got my second greatest card of the day,
Oh, geez.
and I will spoil it. Hashtag belts on cards.
Oh, here we go.
Not
Stealing
only
my
that,
thunder.
It is the absolute favorite Intercontinental Championship version. Shawn Michaels
Roddy Piper?
with the white strap.
Let's see that card. Oh my God, dude. That card is amazing. That's a beautiful card, dude.
That's a great card.
That's a cool card.
That's very awesome.
Very
I'm
cool.
putting that over here in
Very
my
cool.
pile. All right, Nick,
We're going to open another one.
do we want to bring DJ and see what he brought first, or do you want to open a couple more?
Let's open one more, and then
Okay.
we'll bring DJ in. Okay?
Oh. And while Nick is opening, I'll select mine, set the other two aside. So we are down.
Nick's a back card looker.
I
Here, you're on my. Yeah, he's a back card looker for sure.
Come on down. We are at the Camden Center in Milan, Illinois. There is a fantastic crowd here.
I tried to get the co-owner of Atomic to come up here, and he said, "No cameras for me, fellas."
Okay, that's fine. That's
Well,
fine.
he didn't have to be on camera.
I ripped my second pack, and I probably have the most powerful guy in the industry right now.
Rip Studwell?
No. The most powerful guy in the industry.
Oba?
Paul Levesque, right?
Dwayne
Oh,
The Rock Johnson.
you were talking about behind the scenes power, not physical power.
Well, how do you interpret power?
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
My next card. Steering the wheel of a plane near you. It's the Ultimate Warrior.
Can you give us your best warrior promo?
Not today, I can't.
Not today.
I can't, not today.
You got another show today, brother.
We have
the warriors.
we have another show today.
And then you have 2 shows on Wednesday.
And
Actually, we're not doing the kick out this week.
we're not doing the kick out.
Wow.
We got something better.
We got something better.
Wow, guys just went Hollywood on me.
That's all right. We did go Hollywood on you. And then when it rains, it pours. It seems whenever you get a pack of cards with nothing in it, this is one of those cards. It's Xavier Woods, folks. Everybody has multiple Xavier Woods.
So you telling me that the Big E Xavier Woods tag team cards I got, CZ is not going to be liked?
He might like it. Doesn't matter if I like it. And dude, this is
That's dope.
This is a dope card, and I love this dude, and I think he's great. JD McDonough.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's a dope card.
Yes.
To get that like that out of a 2023 pack.
Right. And it's not numbered or anything. It is the JD McDonough Global Icons, insert for select.
That's a good get.
I like that.
Yes.
I'm a big JD McDonough fan, so all right.
Excellent get. My turn for one more?
One more, and then we'll bring in Deej.
All right.
I feel like this segment's going long, and I'm just gonna get pushed for time. And
Hey, there is no time.
are we on Netflix now?
We're on Netflix now. We took a big deal, and when they say we're done, we're done. Brother. CZ with his second pack here. We got DJ Jarvis over here from head of the For Frequency Sake Network, also from For Fantasy Sake Show. Look at this guy. Look at this guy over here. He's wetting himself.
I just pulled the best card ever, and you're gonna hate me because it's not. I'm not telling the truth, but we'll start. We have Kiana James.
Who?
What? Kiana James?
Who?
Yeah, pretty much. I know who she is.
Did you get an Xavier Woods?
No.
Always stacked,
But-
Kiana James.
Always stacked.
Always stacked.
Well, she wasn't previously stacked, but now she is.
He's a scary individual, and he's coming to get you. It's the boogeyman.
Do you guys remember when he
That's cool. That's
when
a cool card.
he bit Jillian Hall,
Mole?
or whatever that was?
God.
The growth on her face off.
Oh, crap. Oh, my God, dude.
I am not addressing this man by his real name, but Nick, I'm giving this card to you because I know you respect him as much as I do.
Is it Walter?
It's a
It
joke.
is Flop Dollar.
Oh,
Flop Dollar.
rookie card.
Oh, even better. It's a rookie
It's
card.
a rookie card.
Even better. There you go. You can have that for your collection, my
Thanks.
friend.
Very much appreciated.
And I also pulled a Brock Lesnar. It's a shiny orange and yellow Brock Lesnar.
With his striker hat on.
Yes, with his Striker
Dude,
was
where
here.
is
Did
Stryker?
he leave?
He must have abandoned us without saying goodbye.
He disappeared.
It's because I got upset with him because he was wearing a CM Punk shirt.
I don't think so. Anyways, I'm going to turn this. Should I leave it like this? How are we going to
No.
do this with the cards?
Go ahead, turn towards DJ,
Okay.
and then we'll bring it back over when we rip the last two.
All right, so I'm going to start with CZs because I took some liberties while I was out there. I was not able to find a tag team card with a tag team on it.
Okay.
And I thought of a lot of really funny things I could do. You already had the R-Truth card. I really thought about doing Miz and R-Truth.
The awesome truth.
After I decided what I was going to do, I did come across Shawn Michaels and Triple H, aka Johnny Gargano and Thomas Ciampa. But I kind of went with cards that I kind of thought were cool looking that went together. So our first card that we got, it's a refractor from Topps Chrome. We've got a Randy Orton card. You
That's a
can't
cool
actually
poster.
appreciate it on camera, but the guy who I bought it from said he kind of looks like Randy Orton's pressed into glass.
Yeah.
So you know how like on TikTok they do the $7 phone protectors where they smash them on the thing. $7. He says he feels the urge to do that every time he holds this card.
Dude, Topps Chrome is like it is a sharp looking.
It is.
product
It
this
is.
year.
The football cards aren't bad. They're not licensed, so they don't have like logos and stuff like that. But they look good.
I understand that.
So we could have gone lots of ways from Randy Orton.
Okay.
Since Nick's the clairvoyant, so there's lots of ways we can go off of Randy Orton.
You want me to guess who the next card is?
I want you to guess who else it was.
The rated R superstar Edge.
It is not,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Clairvoyant.
but it is rated 420.
Oh.
Matt Riddle,
Bro.
RK
Oh.
bro.
Bro.
I just thought it was a really cool card.
And he's the current Major League Wrestling champion.
Yes, he is.
So Nick, I need you to look away so I can put these in an order.
Okay. I'm looking away while the results are tabulated.
And I'll give a shout out. We've got a couple comments. Derek, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Clint Dye, love you, brother.
Dude,
Always
Clint,
great seeing you. And
Clint.
great having your camera work at the shows.
what a show last night. Had a great time seeing you. Thanks for the picks as well.
Yes.
There's some picks in the works
Yes.
that were taken last night. We'll share those with our audience in the very near future. But always great to see Clint. Dude, he had his oldest boy was shooting video last night at
Yeah.
ringside. He was in on the
not
action.
for the first time.
Not for
either.
the first time. I've seen him shoot video before, but shout out to him. He had the best seat in the house last night.
Yes.
So you gave me a couple different missions when I went out. I did not get you an autograph card. Again, the Damon Kim card over there. If you feel froggy, 5-star frog splash. But you said you wanted a legend.
I did.
This card on the back of it does say WWE legend on it.
Uh-oh.
I'm guessing it's not.
I mean,
It depends on how you look at it, right?
his name is John Cena.
That's a cool Cena card. I
John
like it.
Cena?
I'll take it.
So we got John Cena.
Okay, I like. Is that 23 or 24? That's 24.
So
Dude,
John Cena.
you know what? Not a bad Cena card.
No, I thought it was pretty neat.
Not a bad Cena card.
I said this would be hilarious if this is the card I got, so I got that card. But I did get some other cards
from
for
West Newbury,
ya.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, I thought about just pulling up, like I was gonna like hide everything else. So I
You're-
guess I could have like done one of those.
Are you?
but
Your time is up. His time is now.
Where do you put Cena?
I like my list of goats.
Yeah. And I'm gonna same to you,
It's
CZ.
gonna
I
be
want you to
unpopular.
answer this too.
My opinion's gonna be unpopular here. I say 3.
He's on Mount Rushmore.
He's on my Mount Rushmore. I don't have him ahead of. I don't have him behind Flair.
In my opinion, if you're on the Mount Rushmore, you're not ranked. You're just top 4. Like you, so if you're, there's no ranking once you're on the Mount Rushmore.
So I have
in
a
my
really hard time figuring out who my last guy on Mount Rushmore is, but I've got Triple H and Hogan as those guys. And I know I'm a mark. I know that's my favorite guy. But the things he did in his career, and now I think it's hard not to encompass what he's doing now.
No,
into
I
his
don't.
wrestling career.
I don't doubt
and
that. I don't doubt that in one bit. So, do you think Cena's? You think he's cemented his legacy as being on that Mount Rushmore?
I do. I really do. I think so. It's hard. There's so many great names you can put on that Mount Rushmore. It's really hard to narrow it down. It's hard to pick 4.
Where I have a really hard time with is like a lot of people are going to say like The Undertaker, which I could agree, but The Undertaker was amazing at WrestleMania, and his stuff outside of there just didn't do it for me.
You could put him. You could file that under greatest gimmick of all time.
I think that Austin's prime was too short. I think that The Rock's prime was too short. So I mean, I'm gonna go through these cards before you guys kick me off your show.
Okay.
Um,
We're having some deep conversation here.
Yes, we
so
are.
another really cool Topps Chrome. It's kind of the chubby version of this guy, if you want to call him chubby. But we've got another Brett the Hitman Hart Topps Chrome.
All right.
That's beautiful.
So it's kind of looks like the Randy Orton one, where it's kind of pressed in
You have
glass.
given me the black and I have one similar to that, but not that.
It's the sepia.
I have the sepia. What's this
You
one?
kind of like if you hold that, man, that's like
Dude, is this? It's not the sepia, but what is that? What do they call that variant? I have the sepia.
I'm not sure. I'll talk to this
Dude,
guy over here, but I think you've got a cool collection. I've got two more here for you.
I'm looking, dude. You've done good so far.
Another Topps Chrome. Because you asked me to go find this guy for you. I'll show the camera.
Yes.
Little William Regal.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Like seriously, I have the base.
Yeah, but the
I could
black
not
and white
have
is
this.
dope.
Oh, dude.
That's awesome.
Dude, you got to raise. I might just give you
Do I
some more
get,
money.
do I get
This is awesome.
forgiven for shutting you guys down?
Yes, you've been
Yes.
forgiven. Your sins have been atoned.
And then I don't know if you have this one or not, but we talk about this guy a lot with you. So I got David Finley's dad for you.
Are you kidding me?
Are
dude,
you sure that it?
I
that's
love
his
this.
dad?
We're gonna have to look that up later.
We are gonna. This is Fit Finley. Anybody knows I am a Fit Finley fan. I love like mid card WCW stuff, dude. You just made my day. Seriously.
So we got John Cena as the first legend, but then as I'm still thumbing through looking for the tag team for CZ, I
That's
found those other
awesome,
cards,
dude.
and I'm
Dude,
like,
you
you
hit it.
know,
You hit it out of the park.
hey, I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear. And then I got an Allen and Ginter Albert Pujols card for me from his
You know
final
what?
season.
I
So.
am not like I know Pools. Let me see. Dude, that's a good looking card from his final season with the
Yeah,
Cardinals.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, his final season, you know, because he
Right.
came back to St. Louis and then retired. So
Oh, that's a good looking card.
I also want to shout out as I was looking around, we got a couple guys over here in the Pokemon section dressed up like Charizard.
We did. That was pointed out earlier. There is some cosplay.
Pretty cool. Ultimately, I go to a lot of card shows, and I know you guys want to rip your packs before you guys got to get out of here, but
Not at all, man.
I go to
we're
a
good,
lot
man.
of card shows, and there's always something about it that I go home and say, I wish this would have been different. I wish this would have been different. This is a great show. I feel like the lanes you can get through.
First thing I know, it was the first thing I noticed when I walked in the door.
Yeah, and I'm a big
It
guy.
really was.
I occupy
We're
a
all
lot
big
of space
guys up here. Yep.
And I feel like I can just kind of get through. Everybody I've encountered really nice. When I was on my first mission, looking for belts on cards, somebody else was looking through WWE cards, and I said, "Hey, if you pass by this stuff," so every time he came belt on card, he put it over, and I could have got a lot of cooler stuff than R-Truth. It made me giggle. It was a buck. I don't feel like you're mad that I got you an R-Truth
No,
card.
not at all.
Again, like I thought about doing the Miz and another R-Truth card because that just would have been funny. But shouts to the guy in the back corner.
I'm heading over there.
I wish I would have grabbed his
heading over
card.
there.
He's got a lot of cool stuff. I didn't get all his only cool stuff.
That's cool though. I'm looking forward to it.
Shouts to that guy. He is the only guy here with wrestling cards.
Wow.
There's a handful, a couple other places. He's like, don't tell anybody. And I'm like, I won't, man. He said that it's his favorite product to rep. He loves wrestling cards because wrestling cards go to guys like us who aren't then going to just flip them. They're just going to die with us.
Exactly.
And like, just look at there's so many different variants of cards that I grabbed here for you, and they're all neat.
That's kind of, I think, obviously the we'll talk here about the hobby a little bit. It's evolved to where, stuff is pricey. The high-end stuff is pricey. But if you're a collector, now I got to go get the other Fit Finley variants. Like the variant thing has made it kind of fun for a collector if you only collect one person.
Well, like you've seen my
3
Travis
people.
Kelce
Yes,
thing. Like
yes.
that's
People collect rainbows.
I got some cards over by CZ, and one of them's a Mahomes letter. This was a buddy had just this stuff in his box of cards, and he's like, "Well, Deej is a huge Cardinals fan, so the cool Mason Wynn, cool prospect card, But then now I have the Mahomes M, so now I can start trying to put that together. Cards are just really neat. It's cool that I've got young kids and I can get them into collecting, and It's really cool to go into places like Atomic where you walk in the front door and they've just got this box of like junk wax that kids can just go through and take cards.
Yep.
I think that if I were like a young kid and into cards, and it'd be really cool to do those as like Valentine's or birthday invitations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I went to a card shop up in Iowa City on Friday or on Thursday. It's called RK Collectibles, and my daughter asked for some Pokemon cards, and somebody had just brought in Pokemon cards. Said, "Hey, give these away to kids." And the guy's like, "If you want a few, take a few. If you want them all, take them all." To my daughter. So, having people who are willing to make deals with for kids,
Yep.
I think that's really neat. Like altogether, there's a lot of good people, like you guys run into with wrestling.
For sure.
There's a lot of really cool people in the hobby. Obviously there's people want to make money. That's why things like this exist. But they also want to they want to grow the hobby. And I said this to a buddy. I said, a lot of the things I'm into now, I wasn't into as a kid. So it's cool. Like golfing. I wasn't a golfer as a kid. I didn't collect a lot of cards as a kid. So now like coming to this things, you've got the people who our age, a little older than us, but like look at how many like teenagers and below. Look how many 14 and below kids there
There is a considerable young crowd here
in
today.
this room.
Yep.
It's just so neat. And then not only here like looking at stuff, but you've got young kids like at the tables with their parents, like selling stuff.
Yep.
I just think that's so neat.
And
To
I
know
wanna
that
go
there's a
back-
future in our hobbies.
Yes, very much so. I want to go back to something you said about Atomic. You walk in there, they've got the bin for the kids,
Yeah.
but when you walk into a place like Atomic, they know you.
They know your name.
Yep.
Whether they kind of like, sometimes I'm Chris, they just kind of but no, they know who you are. They know you by name. They know what you're into.
It's not like walking into a big box store and looking for a blaster box.
Correct. Yeah, no, super cool to be able to walk into stores like that, and they care about you as a person.
Yes.
You're not just a transaction to them. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they're sending me a birthday card anytime soon.
Right.
But if they are, they're a day late.
Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. You actually texted me at like 8 a.m. I was appreciated.
I wished on Facebook. It was.
You got bundled in with the other 110 people who wish me happy birthday on Facebook. I will say, not to make this about me.
But I made mine different.
No, I
Happy
appreciate
birthday,
that.
Chief.
And not to make this, about me or anything like this, but it's actually really humbling to have my birthday and then have that many people actually like. I know they've made it like AI where you can just click a button and it posts a thing.
See, I never do. I always type mine in.
Yeah. But I know, like, there are other people who make it personal. But even to click the button to say, "Hey, I care enough about this person to hope they have a great day," that means something to me.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and it's been a steady flow of people here. We're at the Camden Center in Milan, Illinois, for the Spring Card Show. It is sponsored by Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. They are on the one way in what I call downtown Milan.
Downtown Milan
is what I like to call it. We, of course, are the Card Subject Change podcast. I'm never wrong, Nick Bull, joined by the Wizard CZ and our special third man, our roving reporter today, the third man.
Could I have defended the titles today?
Freebird rule.
Ooh. So
we had Freebird rule last night. We got Freebird rule today.
Yeah.
So if we're like setting up, like, is this like the bloodline where anybody with a Samoan tribal tattoo can join the team? Or is this like you guys and Zach Takis, Joe Winkle, and myself? Like, I want to be part of like
we need to come up with a faction name. We can't be the Cardi. The
Cardi Boys.
Let's call ourselves the Card.
I like that.
We are the Card. We are the Card.
We are the Card. Hey, but we gotta, when we get the shirts made, we gotta put 2 R's in it, like the core. So it's just the Card.
And don't forget the bar.
The bar. Oh,
I loved the bar.
There's a cool from when he sat up, like they do the panels, and Wade Barrett was talking about the core, and there was a movie that had just come out called The Core, and Vince McMahon's like, just put an extra R in it. So that's why and he's like, and then put a target or something in it. Like, and you could just like, it's so funny to hear those guys talk about like conversations with Vince, because you can just hear him in there saying I won't say it's dumb. Dude made a lot of money and had a lot of cool stuff.
He got us to where we are, but it was time for him. It was time for him to move on. But I'm going to tell you what, we're going to switch things up here. I want you to grab a pack.
I'm actually going to head out, so thank you,
DJ,
for having
you knocked it out of the park with the scavenger
Thank
hunt,
you,
dude.
DJ.
That was awesome.
That.
You said it's back corner?
Yeah, I was a little nervous because I'm like, well, he sent me out for 2 things, and I'm going to come back with 5.
All right. You nailed it, dude.
Don't forget that Damon Kemp autograph cards right in front of us.
Thanks.
DJ, of course, the tribal chief of the For Frequency Sake podcast network. You can catch him during football season on For Fantasy Sake. So be sure to check them out. That is great product. If you're into fantasy football, they'll give you everything you need for your lineups every week during the football season. Of course, we are Card Subject to Change, part of the For Frequency Sake podcast network. I am the Wizard CZ, and I am with my partner, Never Wrong, Nick Bull, and we are all over the place this week.
We are winding down here, but we're still not done. We each got a pack of cards left to rip. I'm going to let CZ rip his first. I'm going to go over a couple things. It's been a whirlwind. We were in Waterloo last night for Absolute Pro Wrestling. We're here in Milan today at the Camden Center for the Spring Card Show, sponsored by Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. We will be back at you this afternoon, later on this evening, for our interview. And you like what you see there?
I do. So I'm going to give a throwback. DJ was talking about finding, I wish you were still here to see this, talking about finding R-Truth and The Miz. Well, what are the first 2 cards I pull? R-Truth and The Miz.
You can't script it any better. You can't script it any better than that.
The awesome truth is in my possession now.
I wish we would have opened that pack now when he was still here.
I do too. I don't know who this is. Miko Satomura? I am not familiar.
Let's see. Miko Satomura. Maybe a couple times on NXT. I think they're an NXT talent. You look on the back of it.
Yes, it's an NXT talent.
They haven't been on recently. This is 2023 Panini Select.
DJ's walking by. DJ,
you just
first
missed
2 cards I pulled. R-Truth and The Miz. Okay.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Awesome.
We are, and give me your last card and I'll open my last pack.
Last card, one
Thanks,
of Nick's
Deej.
favorite.
Oh, no. Oh,
She's on her own against the world.
Shut up.
Bianca Belair. That's a fine looking Bianca card right there.
That is a good looking Bianca card. All right. I'm going to open my last pack here, and then we're going to wrap things up so we can go look at some cards. But we want to thank you for joining along with us here. I'm going to let you tap dance. I'm going to open this pack.
Yeah, so Nick was going over some of our happenings. Nasty Nick Nolan on tonight. Excited to learn his journey in wrestling. That happens at 6:30 Central Time, so be sure to tune in. Wednesday, no kick out at 6, but at 7 o'clock we will be live and in living color with Hollywood, the gorgeous lady of wrestling herself. And then next week is Dynasty, I believe. So
yes, next week is Dynasty.
We are on at an earlier time with the leader of Cult X, the mad scientist himself. His name is Shane Timmons. Shooting with Shane, we'll talk to him. I know Nick's not overly familiar. He is a talent out of Indiana, so we'll learn about his journey, and then we'll be back the following Tuesday to review Dynasty.
All about meeting new people and looking forward to it just the same. I opened my pack loaded with legends.
Okay.
We've got Mr. Perfect.
Brilliant. That is a great card.
We've got George, the Animal Steel.
All right.
Okay. Jake, the Snake.
Ooh, and that's a good one with the snake on there. Uh-oh.
Pretty cool looking Sami Zayn.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Not bad. You know what? if you like doing what we do, we get blasters, we rip them, we swap the cards between us. It's not too backbreaking for a price. What's great about this hobby, there's all sorts of price levels you can get in at,
Yes.
and all sorts of things to collect. But here we are. We're here. We did it, and we're going to be back at you this afternoon. We want to thank, once again, Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles, not only for hosting this show, but for also inviting us and wanting us to be here. It really
Very
means a
much
lot.
so. Very much
Very
so.
much so. Great crowd here today.
Show goes
CZ,
until, I believe, 3 o'clock. if
it
I'm
does
not
go to
mistaken.
3. Started at 10, goes till 3. We want to thank you for sticking with us. We had some technical difficulties earlier. All good now. The ship is sailing. But we're ready to go look at some cards.
Yes.
So I'm going to wrap things up here for my tag team partner, the Wizard, CZ. I am never wrong, Nick Bull. We've been live here at the Camden Center, the Milan Sports Card Show, Spring Card Show, sponsored by Atomic Sports Cards, Collectibles, and more. You can catch us later on this afternoon on the Card Subject to Change podcast. Did I touch all the bases?
Let's just go over the sponsors one more time real quick.
Want me
We
to do it?
are powered by Lopez Pizza,
Yes.
built by Durham Remodeling,
Yes.
colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo,
Yes.
and protected by Jared Zook, Country Financial. This is Card Subject to Change, the podcast by the fans, for the fans. We are here for you. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll see you back here tonight on Card Subject to Change.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.